Today's adventure begins with me procuring myself a piping hot caffeinated beverage. Today we're going to talk about the big three. I'm inviting you to join me. Shall you? Okay, the big three. The big three are the backpack, the tent, and the sleeping bag. Okay, so this is the REI Flash 50 sleeping bag. It weighs 1 pound, 15 ounces. I got it for 30% off. It was originally $2.99. I got it for $210. And this was the first item I bought back in August. So when I bought this, I pretty much was obligated to do my hike. So anyway, I didn't really know what was going on when I bought this, just that it was light. So I just snatched it up right away. I think it's been out about a year or so. So it's got a little pocket thing, probably for like a cell phone or something, utility pouch. It's very lightweight. I don't know what this little thing that they added to is, but anyway, so that's that. I'm gonna start, this is what I'm starting with. I'm gonna switch out some stuff as the weather gets warmer. Okay, now this is, which a lot of you gearheads probably already know, is Zpacks Duplex Classic, better known as the Zpacks Classic Duplex tent. This weighs 19 ounces. It's a trekking pole tent, so what that means is that my trekking poles will support this, and it doesn't include the tent stakes or the trekking poles, obviously, but that's, so just the tent itself weighs 19 ounces, and that's about as light as you can get. I mean, for when they say duplex, it's a two-person tent, but I got it because then you have room to store your gear inside the tent. I don't like storing it outside, but anyway, there are smaller versions of one-person tents that you can get, a little bit lighter. But this is one of the most famous tents that people use on the AT, so I decided to go with it. Oh, by the way, this one lists for $699. That's gone up considerably over the years. And I got it 10% off, so $630. So I did set this up earlier in the fall, and it worked out pretty good, so I'm very happy with that. I was very reluctant to get a trekking pole tent. If you get a tent with the tent poles that hold it up and everything, usually they weigh about 2.5 pounds, so I wanted to save a lot of weight. So on to this is actually not a sleeping bag, it's called a sleeping quilt. And this is by Enlightened equipment. It's the Revelation. It's the 850 fill. You could get the 950 fill, but I got the 850. I also got 10% off on this one. It was listing for $375, so it was like $338 that I got it for. This is a 10-degree quilt, and it weighs 26 ounces. Not the lightest, but you got to get something warmer. When they say 10 degrees, that's just a gauge that it's not really a comfort level, but it's not a really survival level, but it's just what they call it. So if it's 30 degrees, you should be okay. But if it gets in the 20s, you're going to be probably cold. I could have got a 0 degree, but then they weigh more. I could have got a 20 degree and it weighs less. So, but I'm starting out with this one. So quilt versus a sleeping bag. Quilts are generally lighter because I'm not going to open this up right now because I'm holding the camera, but I will show you all this when I'm actually out on the trail. I'll show my tent all set up and everything. So quilt is kind of like a, when you're, let's say if you're laying on your back, so the back part there is you're not enclosed like a mummy sleeping bags. You're kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but there's just less material that you don't really need. You can kind of cinch it up to when it's colder. So anyway, I went with this one because a lot of hikers use this one. It's one of the more popular brands. I'm sure there's plenty of other companies that have really good gear and everything. So, so that's the big three. And I'm going to show you in the next clip my backup stuff that I'll be using when it gets warmer. But first, I decided to take the quilt out of the bag and show you. So this is actually called a custom quilt. Custom meaning you could pick your own colors. I decided to go with some colorful colors. So this is a green. I forget what they actually call it. There's a name for it. I should have wrote it down right. Okay, the purple. And this is, can't think of the name, but it's a light green, as you can see. So anyway, this is the footbed right here. And this cinches up. So you can close it, but if it, in the cold weather, there's still like a little bitty opening. You know, some say you can feel the draft coming in, but you probably could. And then it zips up to, I guess they call it a quarter zip. So, and then this is what they mean by quilted, that it's open here. So it's not enclosed. There's no zipper that goes all the way up here. They got these, you can snap it here and here. Believe me, I was not going to go with a quilt because everybody's using them now, it seems like. In fact, that day I bought the backpack, I bought the REI Magna 15 tent, not tent, but the sleeping bag. I ended up returning. I actually bought the 30 also for the, I was going to use the 15 for the first half and the 30 for the second half, 30 degree, 15 degree. I ended up taking them both back. I really feel bad, but I had to really dial this stuff in better and just take a chance that, I don't think this is really going to work out for me that well, but I'm just going to have to tough it out in the colder weather. But I'm a side sleeper. I don't know. I guess this would be on the back side. So if you turn it around, I guess ideally you would strap it in and just kind of work with it where you wouldn't get any cold drafts. In the summer, it's no big deal. You just use this like a blanket. Basically, you can unzip this. You don't need the foot thing anymore. You actually don't need this bag anymore because it's a 10 degree, but actually you could use this the whole trail, but I don't, 26 ounces is still, to me, it's still heavy. But I just wanted to show you what a quilt is versus a sleeping bag. I don't like to be restricted either in a money sleeping bag. This would be easier to get out, I guess. Everything has its pros and cons, but I really like this, just this feeling. This will actually, let me bring this bag over here. See this is the bag that you'll fold the bag up and it'll fit inside of here. And then you just close this up and it goes in your backpack. All right, so now what I'm gonna do next is I'll show you my backup sleeping bag and my other backpack I'll be using for the second half of the trail when it gets warmer. Before I start talking about this backpack, that beginning bit about the coffee, that was just a little take on Adam the Woo. He passed away 8 days ago. Adam was a big YouTuber. He did a lot of travel vlogs, and he is probably the first YouTuber that I watch regularly, like well over 10 years ago. And I would say overall, he was my favorite YouTuber. So that he would always start out his videos every day talking about the coffee or join me, shall you things. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. So here we go with the backup backpack I'll be using as my pack will get lighter when I ditch my warmer weather gear. And when it's warmer out, I'll be able to use lighter equipment. So this is by the company Zpacks also. There's their logo. This one's called the Arc Haul. It's a 60 liter. My other one's a 50 liter. That's all it came in was a 50 liter. It doesn't really add much weight to go from 50 to 60. I think this would be just fine. I did get this this shock cord added on. I don't know if I'm even gonna like this. We'll see how it goes. It just seems like it's really dangling, but I haven't even put anything in my backpack yet. That's how far I've gotten. But anyway, so I got this because, well, for one, it weighs 23 ounces. I just love Zpacks, the company. I order a lot of other stuff that in future videos, you'll see all the other gear I got. It's a company that's in Florida, and they make their stuff right there. So this lists for $3.99. I got it 10% off. So about $3.60. That's the back of it. And here's the front. I am going to be adding a couple of mesh water bottle pockets. One's a water bottle, one's for like a utility for snacks or whatever. And so I'll tell you a little story real quick on this. So this is called the Stay, this metal bar. It's a frame. I would never go frameless. I'm just not going to do that. So I need a frame. So these are called Stays. So when I had just got done watching when I ordered this, and I was watching a YouTuber, his AT Thru hike, and he had the same backpack. And so one of his videos, he noticed, well, one of them, it broke basically right when he was on trail. So he tried emailing the company and all that, and somehow eventually he rigged it up where he was able to use it till it got fixed, or he got another backpack to use. But when I received my backpack, right after I watched that video, one of these stays had like a blemish in the, there's like a gouge in there. This is really good now. And I emailed the company. It's like, you know, I told them about it. It says, well, that's just the way it kind of, that's the way they go. You know, it's not perfect or whatever, something to that effect. And I said, well, this is more than just an imperfection, whatever that's how they worded it. I said, I sent them a picture. And they said, well, we can send you a stay if you want to put a new one in. It's like, no, I don't really know how to do that. I mean, I just soon send it back and have you guys do it. So they were good about it. They did it. So anyway, I just hope that this will work out. They're pretty thin metal, but I was afraid that thing was going to snap if I would, you know, I'd just get taken care of now. But anyway, also the reason I'm not taking it with me in the beginning, well, I want to start with that REI backpack. I think the REI will hold the weight better versus this one. I think they say up to 35 pounds, but I just think this works well with a lighter pack. So I am going to use this for the second half. And you're probably thinking, why are you taking two backpacks? Were you born with two backs or something like that? No, I decided to go with the lighter one for the second half, and this should work out. So there you are, Zpacks. Okay, next we're gonna do I'm gonna use the tent for the whole trip. So I don't have like another one I'm gonna swap out. So I'm gonna stay with the Zpacks Duplex tent the entire time. So now let's get into the sleeping bag. This is also a quilt by Zpacks. This is called the Summer Quilt / Winter Liner. This weighs 10 ounces, 10.3 ounces to be exact. This is a 40-degree bag, really thin, basically the same as the previous one, but it's lighter by like 15 ounces, 16 ounces or so. That's a pound right there. So this one is very, very thin. There's no way I could take this in the cold weather. So this will be for like, I don't think I'm going to swap this out until it's going to be like in the 60s at night or something, but we'll see. I think I'll just use this just for the summer, like it says, a summer quilt. So anyway, this is, it doesn't have a zipper. This one has a closed foot box, and then there's no zipper. It's just sewn, whoops. It's sewn about 1/4 of the way, and they had a couple colors to choose from. I like their blue, and then you could pick the interior color. This is navy blue that shows up like that. So that's that. It's very lightweight. I think it's going to work in the summer for sure. But I mean, if I got to put on a puffy jacket or whatever at night, if it gets a little chilly at night, I think I'll be fine. So that is it, I believe. So stay tuned for more videos. I'll be going over the rest of my gear, not in detail like these, because this is This is really the big three. Some people say the big three when instead of the sleeping bag or sleeping quilt, they'll say the sleeping system, which is fine. But the sleeping system includes a few other items like your sleeping pad that blows up like an air mattress, a blow-up pillow, stuff like that. So some use like a sleeping bag liner that goes inside here. I don't think I'm going to take one, but we'll get into that in the next video. And stay tuned. I'm going to start putting these out pretty regularly now that I pretty much got all my gear. I'm just waiting for a couple other things. Believe it or not, I got 2 more sleeping bags on the way. I don't think I'm going to take them, but they had this 20% off sale. And it's like, well, I got to take advantage. They had it for the whole month of November. That was the Enlightened Equipment, that company there. Because at first I thought, well, I could take one of these 50-degree bags and use it as a second blanket if it gets really cold. But I don't know. That's a lot of extra weight. I don't want to bring any extra weight. So, but it was a thought. But either way, I'll just use them for like regular camping in the future. So that should be about it. Thanks for watching. And as Adam the Woo would say, the vlog is over.